What's going on? I'm going to show you one easy thing that you can do in your business so that you can effectively double or triple your sales without having to go through any sales training, doing anything like that. Just one simple fix that you can put in right away to be able to improve your connection rate and also be able to just ultimately get more revenue at the end of the day. So let's walk through this example. We'll go through the numbers and then I'll show you exactly what you can fix to start getting better outcomes. So let's just say in this example, you're running ads to people selling courses, agencies, whatever, and you're giving away some kind of lead magnet in this funnel process. Let's say you're spending $3,000 a month on ads. Let's just say your CPM is 35 bucks, which is basically how much it costs to get 1,000 impressions or views. So in this instance, if you're spending 3,000, you got a $35 CPM, then that means on the month you're going to get a little over 85,000 total views on that ad. And if you have a 1% click through rate, that means the people who see your ad, click it, are going to go to the landing page for that lead magnet. Let's say you get 857 people to that page on a 1% click through rate, and you get 20% of those people to actually opt in and get that lead magnet, which means you would get 171 leads. Now, let's say in this instance, you have a cadence built out to where every lead is getting 6 dials. And of course, you'll have nurturing emails and likely text and things like that in there too. But in this instance, we're going to be focusing on the dials. That would put you at the end of the month at 1,026 dials. Most of the time, and I've seen it lower than this. I've been on an offer before where we've had a 3-4% close rate or pickup rate, which was terrible. It makes it very challenging. It's very tedious and exhausting on the salespeople just because they feel like they're dialing incessantly and not getting any pickups. But let's say with a 7% pickup rate, you're going to have 71 conversations over the course of the month. And if you have a 40% set rate, which by the way is not good, but if you did, you would get 28 calls booked on the month. If you have a 60% show rate, also not good, you would ultimately end up taking 16 calls for that month. Now, if you only offer 80% of the time, maybe your SDRs didn't qualify everybody to the highest extent that they should have, and you got some people who weren't really ready to receive an offer or shouldn't have received an offer at all, shouldn't have even been on the call. So you only offer 80%. That means you would have made 12 offers that month. Now, if you're closing at a 25% closing rate, that would get you 3 units. If your offer price is 7,000, that would get you at 21,000 a month. And if you have a 50% cash collection rate, then that would put you at $10,500 in cash collected. Simple breakdown. So many times I've seen business owners spend tens and tens of thousands of dollars on coaching programs so that people can come in and train your sales team and stuff like that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I've invested in a lot of sales training. It's great, it's helpful, but it's not the biggest lever that you can pull in this instance. Because let's say you went and invested $20,000 or $25,000 for somebody to come in and train your team. And let's say that you got an AE in there and they're able to even get their close rate up to 35%. Well, that doesn't make a really big difference month over month on what your total cash collected is going to be. You'll get an extra 3,500 a month, which isn't bad by any stretch of the means, but it's not the most effective thing that you could do. So I want to show you something that you can do. Very easy to implement. It does not take a lot of time to install into your systems, get your team acclimated to using it, but is something that will help your total output tremendously. And that is focusing on your pickup rate. So a lot of times these companies will be dialing and they'll either be calling through like a go high level phone, which is likely connected to some kind of Twilio number, or somebody's using like a Kixie or an Alloware or AirCall or you name it. But a lot of these numbers you think are going to be really good. But what you find is that a lot of these companies that you're paying good money to get use their dialers for have like B and C tier ratings. And oftentimes when you're calling your prospects, your numbers are going to get flagged as spam. And then a lot of these tools have like multi-line dialing and there's actually a lot of regulations and fines that can be associated with multi-line dialing if you don't tell people they're going to be in a multi-line dialer process, but that's not the point of this video. It's a conversation for a different day. There are a couple tools that you can use that I would recommend to just improve your pickup rate, and that's getting a world class VoIP in place so that you can improve these pickup rates. I know Matt Ryder has his own dialer system. I've used SalesLoft before, and it's okay. It's not the best, but it's better than most. So this is something that you can just plug in. You don't have to change your process. You don't have to train your salespeople. You're just giving them a better tool that they can use so that they can improve your revenue. Now, when you put a good dialer like that in place and you move your pickup rate from 7% to, let's just say, 18%. And by the way, I've seen it go up as high as 35%. And now I'm not saying that you can get that, but I'd say 18% on a healthy dialer, assuming you have the right SOPs in place already for speed to lead and things like that. This is very feasible. And look at how the numbers shift when you go from a 7% to an 18%. Your team will ultimately end up over the month having an extra, what is that, 113 conversations. That's massive. And let's just say they don't even improve their set rate, like their skill set doesn't get better magically. So now instead of you having 28 calls booked, you've got 73 calls booked on the month. And let's just say your show rate doesn't even change. You don't fix anything else other than the dialer system. Then you go from 16 calls taken to 43 calls taken. And then your offer rate remains the same. You go from 12 offers to 34 offers. Your closing rate doesn't change at all. But here you go. You go from 3 units to 8 units. Massive. That is a massive difference for a very simple change and a very cost effective change because most dialers are all going to be roughly the same in price. Yes, the better ones are going to have likely a more expensive onboarding fee. It might cost you 1,500 bucks, 2,000 bucks to get everything set up. But you can make an investment into that and then be paying relatively the same amount month over month for the number of seats that you have in that dialer, and you're gonna be getting way better returns. And your offer price doesn't change. Your revenue goes up by, in this instance, what is that, $35,000? You'd more than double your revenue just by putting a better tool in place, and that's one thing you can fix. So that's like when I go in and I'm looking at companies, I'm gonna see, okay, let's look at your tool stack. Let's see what we can do to improve it because there's likely a very simple change that you can make quickly to start getting some wins. And if your cash collect stays the same, look, you're going from 10,500 in cash collected to 28,000 cash collected every single month on the same ad spend. This is gonna give you way better returns. This is gonna help you scale a lot more effectively. This is gonna give you the resources to redeploy in other areas. You can either, one, at this rate, crank up ad spend, or two, look at what you can do to start improving some of these other components in here. Like there's a lot of other tools that you can put in place to even improve show rate. There's systems that you can use. There's things that you can put in place, some softwares that you can plug in on your landing page for the VSL that allows you to track, you know, what's your play rate? You can watch your retention rate. Like your play rate is how many people when they go to the landing page are actually watching it. The retention rate is how long are people actually watching the video. So that way you can get crystal clear data on where you need to make some tweaks and improvements to the rest of the process because now you have extra money coming in to be able to start affording some of these additional softwares. But a lot of the time, I see people fix things in the wrong order, and when you fix it in the wrong order, you start getting really cash restricted. And yeah, you'll get some incremental improvements, but based on the amount of money that you need to spend to get there, in my opinion, like there's proper sequencing to it. And this is why I would highly encourage you to get a better dialer in place for your company because this is going to be the easiest thing you can put in place. It does not take a lot of time. It's something that you could get installed and operational in a day. Unlike sales training, things like that, like you can't just buy sales training, put a rep in coaching and have them double their performance overnight. It's not gonna happen because coaching takes a while. Sometimes people learn at different rates, but guess what? You don't have to learn at a different rate to get more people to answer the phone, especially when you're doing the same input. As long as you have the proper tools, you can get things moving forward. And this is one of the easiest things that you can do today to start getting more revenue in your business, get more cash collected. Don't focus on all the things like training and all this other stuff. Just make a quick, simple fix. Plug that in, you'll have massive improvement in your business. Uh, so, yeah, I hope this was helpful.